Rounds Whangarei 2022, my first real competition since August last year. Today, I'll go over how I did at the competition, as well as some other stuff. First event of the day, 3 blind. So before this competition, I hadn't really done too much practice, but I knew that not many good 3 blinders would be there, so I thought I'd just go for a success, which should easily get me into finals. Unfortunately, Jack and Dwayne being the best 3 blinders there, both triple DNF'd, so I made it into finals easily with a 249 single. Next up, 7x7. For 7x7, I was just trying to get a sub 5 mean with a decent single, and I got both of those in the first round with a 423 single and a 448 mean. Pretty happy with that, and I made finals. After this was Megaminx. I was actually practicing quite a bit of Megaminx before this competition, going for a sub 1 average, and I did it. This 56 average ended up placing me second in the first round of Megaminx, and it only had one non-sub 1 single. Then came Clock, the event I cared least about going into this competition. I had no real goals other than a sub PR average, as I knew that I would probably not make it into finals or have any chance at placing in this event. I ended up getting a pure sub 10 average, which is pretty good, but nothing special. This average also got me into finals pretty easily, getting me 5th place in the first round. Now was lunchtime. We decided to go geocaching, and you can see that video here. Alexander also probably got pizza OCR, and you can see that video here.
These guys like pineapple on pizza.
Where do I put
Popular opinion.
It's actually good.
Pineapple on pizza's good!
Me too! Yeah!
Also, be sure to let him know that pineapple 100% does belong on pizza in the comments below. Right after lunch, Square 1. I'd also been doing a bit of Square 1 before this competition, and my goal was to get a sub 15 average. I didn't manage to get that in the first round with a 15.69 average, but there were still 2 more rounds to go. Up next was Skewb. For Skewb, I really wasn't expecting much other than a sub 5 average, which I got. This average was second in the first round, and again there were still 2 more rounds to go. Next up, 3x3. I was really looking forward to 3x3 as I'd been going for a sub 10 average for way over a year, and this was my first competition in a year which had 3x3. In the first round, it started off really rocky with some pretty bad solves, but I clutched it with the last 2 solves getting a 9.92 average, just barely sub 10. After this was 2x2, another event I was really looking forward to. My goal going into this competition was to get a sub 2 average, and if there were any good scrambles, enough. I was really happy as I managed to get this in the first round, getting my best point average of 1.98. This was also FOCR at the time, and overall I was really happy with it. Unfortunately, my solves weren't quite good enough to get NR, but there were still 2 more rounds to go. The last event of the day was Pyraminx. My only goal was to get a sub 4 average, which I managed to do in the first round, getting a 3.89 average. That pretty much wrapped up day 1 an hour early, and overall, I was really happy with the day. Coming back on day 2, first event of the day was 6x6. I really had no goals for 6x6 as I hadn't really practiced before this competition, so just getting a mean was my main goal, which I did, getting a 256 mean, coming 8th place and just barely making finals. Next event on the list, Skewb. Since this was still the second round, my main goal was to just get into finals, which I did easily by coming second in the round. Also, big rip to Dwayne for DNFing this round. After this was the second round of 3x3, with my main goal being to beat the PR that I got the day before. I managed to do this very well, getting an 8.74 3x3 average. This is still one of my main highlights of this competition, after not being able to do well in competition for so long. Straight after this was 2x2. The scrambles in this group ended up being really nice, and I surprised myself by getting another female OCEANIC record, which is still currently FOCR and NR3, with a 1.94 202 average. Really happy with this, but it turns out that if I didn't fail the last solve, it would have been quite an easy NR. Then was lunchtime, where again we went geocaching. You can check out that same video. We also did some other stuff. I'll link everything we did in lunchtime in the description. Following lunch was Pyraminx. Again, this was still only the second round, and I had no real goals other than making finals, which I did, coming 6th in the round. There was nothing interesting about Square 1 either, but I made finals. So moving on to 3 blind, the first of many finals in this competition. My main goal was to Podium, which I ended up doing, with a terrible 301 single. I actually failed a 155 solve by one misturn somewhere during execution, otherwise that solve would have placed me first. Congrats to Richard for getting a 157 with Old Pockman and winning 3 blind at this competition. 7x7 finals I actually did really well, getting a 426 mean, placing me 6th in the end. Megaminx finals was honestly really disappointing for me. I somehow managed to get a PR single of 50.9 seconds and a 3rd place average of 57.46, but I don't really know, something just felt really off about this round and I just wasn't happy with the result. 6x6 finals, again, don't care, came 6th. Skewb Round finals was my final chance at getting a sub 15 average, which I did. I got a 14.13 average, placing me 7th in the finals. Skewb was okay. I ended up getting 3rd with a pretty bad average, but yeah, not great. Now it gets a bit weird. Apparently the organisers, looking at you, Liam, decided to have 2x2 finals 4th to last, and then Pyraminx and Clock before 3x3. 2x2 finals was probably the most disappointing round of the competition. I thought I had a really good chance at 2x2 podium, coming first in both previous rounds, but apparently I still suck at bad scrambles. I got a terrible 2.7 average, which placed me 4th in the competition. Very disappointing round, and the terrible scrambles definitely didn't help. Pyraminx finals was so-so. I got a 3.76 PR average, which yet again placed me 6th in Pyraminx, meaning I came 6th in all 3 rounds of Pyraminx at this competition. Clock finals I went from 5th to, well, last. The scrambles were absolutely amazing, sub-OCRable according to Edwin, but no one managed to pull off a decent result. I got an 11.12 average, which is definitely not great. Final event of the day, 3x3. 3x3 finals was also pretty bad for me. I went back to my old ways and I ended up getting a 10.11 average. Still sub old PR before this competition, but I'm not very happy with it. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up my results for this competition. Let me know if you would prefer my normal vlogs or cinematic videos compared to this. I ended up getting 3 podiums, or 3rd place, which is better than nothing, and it's my first official competition which I podiumed in, so I'm not mad about it. Thank you to everyone who attended this competition for making it what it was, and thanks to the organisers and delegates for creating this competition, and congrats to everyone who got PRs, NRs, or any other records. Thanks so much for watching, be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed, and stay safe.